Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. This is a unit that we believe to be the backbone of the organization right now. In the transition from Sean Payton to Dennis Allen, you believed that that side of the ball would keep its continuity, and you would have to evolve a little bit offensively. It started with Jameis Winston. He got hurt. You went to Andy Dalton. And then you decided to make the investment in Derek Carr and to surround him with the requisite pieces to form a functional offense to go with one of the league's best defenses and defensive coaches in Dennis Allen. And last year, while the offense did falter, the defense played great, especially late in the season. Really, really well. And then you started off this year and you held Tennessee to 15, and you went to Carolina and you held them to 17, and you were 2-0. And even though you lost at Green Bay, you only gave up 18 points. Yeah, you had a 3-score lead that you couldn't hold against Jordan Love, and that wasn't great on defense. You held them to 18 points, and at that point, you're riding a streak of holding opponents under 20 points that you just don't see this day and age in football. But you saw some cracks in the armor against Tampa. Mayfield had a nice day in that one, and they scored 26 points. And after you whitewashed a terrible New England team, Houston, you couldn't hold a lead. Jacksonville scored 31 on you. Tyson Bagent got things going with the Bears, hitting Cole Kmet for touchdowns. Minnesota, with the quarterback who just got there, scores 27 points on you. You lose to Atlanta. Detroit scores 33. And, the defense just doesn't look anything close to dominant. Yeah, the offense has had its issues, but the defense is supposed to be what keeps you in games and wins them for you late. And it wasn't the case for 8 weeks. And back 2 weeks ago, I did a segment where I outlined that the first quarter defense had been bad. The fourth quarter defense was bad. You weren't rushing the passer at all. The run defense was getting gashed. It looked like your additions of Colin Saunders and Nathan Shepard were not transformative on the defensive front. Brzez's been pretty good rushing the passer, but not ready to be an all-pro type guy as a rookie. You don't use Isaiah Foskey. It felt like your defense was leaking oil. And I did a segment is the foundation of the organization, which was the defense during this transition, faltering? And the answer at that point I felt was yeah, you're getting older. You're not stopping people. You're not protecting leads. You're not getting off to a good start. You're not rushing the passer. None of it's very good outside of the ability to cover. When Lattimore was healthy, Adebo, Alontae Taylor, even May and Matthew, you've covered well. But the rest of the defense was not good from basically October 1st through December 3rd. October, November, not good. But the last 2 weeks, you've held Carolina and New York without a touchdown. You beat Carolina 28-6. You beat the Giants 24-6. And in so doing, you have done a better job of rushing the passer. Only 1 sack against Carolina, but you were in Bryce Young's face a good bit of that game. You made him move his feet a lot of that game. That's one of those games where the statistics don't necessarily tell the entire story. Now, they did in the Giants game. You had 7 sacks on DeVito. And they were running TE twists and stunts. They were bringing DeMario Davis late. They were doing basically whatever they wanted. They were getting home to Mr. DeVito. And that's a very encouraging thing because that's the missing piece to this defense. If they can rush the passer, we already know they can cover. So was this a faction of the Saints finding something with the pass rush, or was this atrocious Carolina and New York? Well, the Giants have allowed the most sacks in football. They're dead last. So that doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Now, the Saints' 7 sacks against New York contribute to that, and I fully recognize that, but they're the worst in the NFL, and Carolina is 4th to last. So they're giving up a lot of sacks as well. And if you look at this in totality, not just the last 2 weeks, only 4 teams in the NFL have fewer sacks than New Orleans. Demario Davis has 6.5. They've used him well the last couple of weeks. Kind of a heat-seeking missile. He can still play. He's still an all-pro level linebacker. I've talked about the Saints aging. He's one of the guys that is literally aging, but his level of play is still excellent. I could argue against Cam Jordan. I could argue against Tyrann Mathieu week to week, but Davis has been phenomenal. Carl Granderson has been great. 7.5 sacks this year. Those 2 guys have combined for 14 sacks. That's excellent work. Brian Brzee has shown flashes. 3.5 sacks this year. He's hit the quarterback 8 other times. But Cam Jordan's not giving you much. 2 sacks, 6 hits on the quarterback. 8 hits on the quarterback at this point in the season. That's not great production from Cam. The 2 guys that you paid significant amount of your free agent pool post Derek Carr, Colin Saunders, no sacks, kind of a non-factor at this point. He's only hit the quarterback twice this year. Nathan Shepard, 2.5 sacks, 5 QB hits this year. I like Granderson. I think Brzee's got a chance to be good. Passanio had 3 sacks last week. There needs to be more. And the Rams are not a great matchup from that perspective. They're 5th best in the NFL with only 27 sacks allowed in 14 games played. They're not even allowing 2 sacks a game. And I think some of that, not all, but some of that is because they've got a quarterback back there who knows what he's doing. Bryce Young has no idea what he's doing. Tommy DeVito has no idea what he's doing. Tyson Bagent has no idea what he's doing. Mac Jones has no idea what he's doing. Jordan Love at that point, no idea. You get the picture. Stafford, while he can't move, knows how to get rid of the football. So in this game, I don't expect the Saints to get a huge pass rush on Matt Stafford. But if you can show some of what you've shown the last 2 weeks, maybe with Stafford's quick decision-making, the ball coming out quickly, you can play some press coverage and force some turnovers, which you have been very good at. I think in this game against LA, the more telling stat will not be if the Saints can get 4 sacks or 1 sack. The question is, can the Saints get 2 picks? Can the Saints get the 1 sack that leads to a strip in a short field for the offense? I don't expect 7 more sacks this week. This ain't Tommy DeVito and a bad Giants offensive line. But Stafford, over the course of his career, has turned the ball over a little bit. And if you can get a little pressure and you do know that you can cover and you can play press and shorten those windows up, this is, I think, a game for the Saints to potentially create a turnover or 2 if we're looking for this defense to find itself again. Because that's what it's going to take. Stafford will force some balls in there with that arm. We already know Baker Mayfield likes to be aggressive throwing the football, and the Falcons, quite frankly, don't know who their quarterback is. Today, they benched Desmond Ridder, and they're going with Heineke. Whatever. The Saints' defense needs to be opportunistic against these 3 quarterbacks in a situation where you probably need to win out. Winning out wins you the division. There's a way you can go 2-1 and lose to the Bucs and still get the wild card, but it's tougher sell. You need a lot more things to happen than the Saints just taking care of their business. It's a short week. It's a better opponent. It's on the road. But maybe there are some turnovers to be had from the Saints defense. That at least is my hope as we start to look forward to the Saints and the Rams, 7:15 on Prime on Thursday night. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.